All protocols observed, good morning to all. And thank you for gracing this gathering with your presence, for it is the collective strength of each woman here that makes our Presbyterian community resilient and vibrant. We have heard, in the spirit of Ephesians, I beg you, bear with one another in love. I extend my deepest appreciation for bearing with me today as we delve into the important conversation surrounding women's physical and mental health. Now, I know a lot of you all love gardening. Sometimes when I chat with some of the ladies here, instead of speaking about medicine, we speak about their fruit trees and flowers. So let me take a moment to transport you to a beautiful garden. Picture vibrant flowers swaying in the breeze, their colors reflecting the diversity and richness of our shared experiences. Now imagine that this garden is your mind, a sanctuary where thoughts and emotions bloom. Today we embark on a journey through this physical and mental garden, inspired by the timeless words from Ephesians. I beg you, bear with another in love. Now, as we stand at the entrance to this garden, we are not just explorers, we are cultivators, nurturers of the delicate balance between our mental and physical well-being. So put on your gardening gloves and step into a world where laughter is the fertilizer, love is the sunlight, and each step we take is a dance through the tapestry of life. Welcome to a conversation that hopefully will transcend the ordinary, and let us celebrate health, let us celebrate love, and explore the magnificent garden within each and every one of us. Just as a gardener tends to the flowers and fruits, we must tend to the garden of our minds and bodies. The great American writer and poetess Maya Angelou says, I sustain myself with the love of family. Let us extend that love beyond the boundaries of family to encompass the entire Presbyterian women community. Let us be beacons of compassion. We have heard already, let us be pillars of support and sources of inspiration for one another. Most of you all know that I grew up in a home with two strong Presbyterian women. My wife is no different. In the world of family health, women are the undisputed bosses. Woman is boss, you've heard that, and it comes to hell too. They wield their secret weapons of soup, home remedies from that same garden, and the unrelenting insistence that an apple a day keeps the doctor away. They're like undercover agents, you know, they're stealthily walking around, they're monitoring your sneezing, especially since COVID, and ensuring that that household medicine cabinet is better stocked than the village pharmacy. You've heard the old saying that behind every good man is a better woman. Well, behind every good man in my office is a better woman who dragged him in. In fact, I remember there was a woman who brought her husband to the office. You know, he was very quiet throughout the consultation. She said he had this, he had that, he had pain somewhere from head to toe, he snored at night, he ate too much, he drank a bit, he grumbled. So at the end, I asked him if he had anything to say. He said, Doc, I'm not sure about those other things, but now I certainly have high blood pressure. So women possess this superpower this superhuman power of persuasion. They convince family members to come for a checkup. It's almost like a glamorous social event. And women also, and I thank you for this, remind their circle to watch Ask the Doctor on Thursday nights. I salute these women. I salute these health generals, the architects of our health, the architects of vitamin regimens around the world, and wizards of wellness. They lead the nation in health. You lead the nation in health care with a sprinkle of love and a little dash of make sure you eat your vegetables. And this relentless pace of life, sometimes it vies for attention because there is a plethora of distractions. It renders it a challenge to prioritize health. And I just thought I wanted to share some practical tips in order to foster and maintain good physical and mental health. And if there is something to take from this segment, I want you to prioritize self-care. Prioritize self-care. Allocate in 2024 time for some of the activities that you enjoy. Ensure that you get enough sleep. The healing power of sleep cannot be overemphasized. It is a precious gift for your body and mind. Aim for quality sleep by creating a relaxing bedtime routine. Avoid too many of these WhatsApp messages and YouTube before sleep, and ensure that your bedroom is a comfortable environment, because that is a fundamental aspect for not just physical, but mental rejuvenation. Maintain a balanced and nutritious diet, one rich in fruits, vegetables, nuts, peas and beans, low fat and low salt. It's time to revert to food from when our grandparents and great-grandparents were cooking. There was a gentleman in the US called Norman Cousins, and he was diagnosed with a very painful, debilitating illness. Very painful illness. And he had seen multiple doctors, he had gone to specialists around the country, and he was still struggling with this painful problem that had affected his quality of life. And he decided that he was going to spend time looking at things that would make him laugh, looking at things that would accrue pleasure. He would read books that would engender some sort of amusement. He would look at films that would make him laugh. He said laughter is an instant vacation, and if you've heard the adage that laughter is the best medicine. And I want to say that as we bear with one another in love, let us share moments of joy. Whether it is a hearty laugh, a funny story, or a shared joke, it is a powerful elixir. That is a medicine for the melancholy. And it's not just for your body, but also for your soul. So I think the moral of that part is don't take life too seriously, especially the politicians. And part of it too involves ensuring that you set healthy boundaries. So even within your church, even within your women's group, sometimes you have to say no and learn to say no when necessary. Set boundaries, set realistic expectations for yourself, and try to create that healthy work-life balance. These are tips to remember, not just here, but also for your children and grandchildren. Because you must remain connected, because that's the essence of maintaining supportive and healthy relationships. Staying connected online, whether through the telephone, sharing your thoughts and feelings with family and friends, all go towards protection of your mental and physical health. We've all heard about relaxation techniques. We've all heard about practicing mindfulness. When you wake in the morning, a few minutes just for deep breathing, say a prayer, and remember that you're going to be thankful for the day. Explore some activities. Some persons will go to YouTube for yoga. Some will take breaks during the course of the day just to clear your mind. Cultivate that garden of positivity, something positive for the day. Today, the very first thing you did was to come to this 96th anniversary for the Presbyterian Board of Women, and that was your highlight for Saturday. That was your positive aspect for today. In the Gospels, a woman who had been suffering from the prolonged issue of blood. You remember that story? She was hemorrhaging for more than 12 years. She reached out to touch the hem of Jesus' garment. The crowd was so big, and she thought that just touching the hem of his garment would be enough to cure her of this issue of blood, this hemorrhage that had affected her life. Her blood count was probably low. She was probably in pain. Her quality of life was impaired. Her relationships would have been damaged as a result of that. And her faith in the healing power of Jesus resulted in an immediate cure. And this is something to remember in 2024, because we still find this. You could have the best scientific inventions in the world, and for some reason that modern medicine in parts of the West will not be able to explain, that intertwining of faith and health continues to help healing. That continues to help healing with conviction and help healing when you have belief. I want to also speak about the value of physical activity, because exercise has been proven to have, we know, tremendous mental and physical benefits. Strength training is not just for bodybuilders. Could walk with a water bottle 2 to 3 times a week. It's a powerful tool to strengthen your muscles, and women after the menopause are prone to brittle bones, so you'd want to strengthen that too and prevent fractures and the risk for osteoporosis. Aim for at least 30 minutes for most days in the week, whether you're running, walking, jogging, Zumbaing, some sort of physical activity to dance away from heart disease, diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, strokes, and cancer. And what about limiting stressors? How are you going to really limit stresses in life? That's difficult. It's sometimes important to just identify these sources of stress, whether at home, the way you respond to situations at work and those around you, whether it's in a women's group. Identify the sources of stress in your life. That's the first step so that you can deal with these. In fact, it reminds me of one of my father's sermons. He said that there are 3 things in life, so he paraphrased a famous quote. There are 3 things in life that you can be sure of: death, taxes, and someone is going to bad talk you. So forget about that. It does not matter. Forget about that. And break down these stressors. Break down these tasks that seem overwhelming into smaller, more manageable nuggets, more manageable steps. Develop problem-solving skills and how to cope. Roosevelt said, and I think it's applicable to the woman in the Presbyterian church, a woman is like a tea bag. You never know how strong she is until she gets in hot water. And don't hesitate to consult with a medical health professional if you find you're struggling, if you think you're having some symptoms, if you're having problems sleeping, if you have a reduced appetite, if you have lost that zeal and pleasure in things that used to give you it, if you're having problems with your memory, difficulty concentrating, regular check-ins with your doctor can provide perhaps some useful tips and coping strategies, or your mental health professional. We spoke about gardening, and perhaps it's time to cultivate hobbies and interests that give you joy and fulfillment. Maybe it's time to volunteer to something in the village, volunteer within your church for a worthy cause. That provides a healthy outlet for stress. And it also gives you a mental shampoo because it's a break from your routine. Stay informed about all of the current affairs. I know sometimes, especially since COVID, you're looking at the news and we are bombarded by a steady stream of misinformation and negativity. Everywhere you turn, it's crime, it's politics, there's war in the Middle East. And perhaps it's important to set boundaries about the amount of time we set on social media. It's important to stay aware. I'm not saying not to be aware, but some of the boundaries, especially at night. And celebrate achievements. Celebrate the fact you've come to this 96th anniversary. Acknowledge and celebrate your accomplishments. Because progress happens in baby steps. Baby steps. Comparison is the thief of joy, according to one of the US presidents. And in this age of social media, let's remember that everyone's journey is unique. Embrace your path. Embrace the path of your family. Celebrate those small wins and victories. And also celebrate the triumphs of your brothers and sisters. And one of the resolutions of 2024 is to ensure that these little nuggets of advice should fall into a routine. It should fall into a structured pattern, something that you would want to do every day. A little every day would help. Whether it's sleep, whether it's your meal time, whether it's physical activity, whether it's time to connect. Incorporate that as part of your daily activity. Because just as we tend to gardens, we have to schedule our regular checkups, we have to tend to our bodies. Routine health screenings and visits to healthcare workers can actually identify problems early. So as a reminder, so if you haven't had a pap smear, speak to your doctor if you think that it's necessary. If you haven't had a mammogram, if you haven't checked your blood pressure, your sugar, your cholesterol, it might be time to do that. So, who can tell me what disease is the biggest killer of women globally? Stress is certainly a killer. Stress is certainly a killer. And it results in what condition? Heart disease. Heart disease is thought to kill one person every 30 seconds in the world. And yesterday was a special day for heart disease and women. I don't know if anyone saw that. By a show of hands. What happened yesterday that was relevant to heart disease? I'm seeing many women in red. And yesterday was Wear Red for Women. Just to show how under-recognized heart disease is in women and death. And would you believe, and it probably has its roots in sexism, would you believe that women are less likely to get proper treatment for heart attacks? Women are less likely to get some of the newer tablets for that. Women are less likely to be in studies abroad for heart disease than men. Would you believe that women are less likely to have bypass operations than men? In 2024, as much as we talk about it. So we're red for women, and that serves as a reminder that we have to prioritize our heart health. I want to quote from Isaiah and say that the Lord will guide you continually and satisfy your soul in drought. The Lord will strengthen your bones. You shall be like a watered garden and like a spring of water whose waters do not fail. And I wish that blessing to everyone here. Every step you take towards prioritizing your mental or physical health is a step towards a more vibrant and fulfilling life. And you deserve that. You deserve that. There's a popular message on social media that poignantly reminds women about leaders in the Bible. Be a Sarah. Age doesn't matter. Trust and believe that all things are possible in God's perfect season. Be a Rebecca. Never forget that true beauty lies within. Draw loved ones to your Christ-like character. Be a Ruth. Loyal in relationships. Walk the extra mile and don't quit. Be a Hannah. Never cease to pray. It will never be in vain. Be an Esther. Bold and courageous to stand for truth and voice your opinions. Be a Mary. Great but humble. Be an Elizabeth. Never doubt the God of many miracles. And I like this one. Be a Mary Magdalene. Never let mistakes or judgment of others stop you from the joy of God. And now, these three remain. Faith, hope, and love. And say it with me. But the greatest of these is love. From 1 Corinthians. In the garden of life, let love be your perennial plant. It withstands the changing seasons. And as we part ways, may your heart be filled with the faith that fuels your journey, the hope that lights your path, and above all, the enduring love that binds us as a Presbyterian community. One of my family's favorite writers, Roald Dahl, reminds us, watch with glittering eyes the world around you, because the greatest secrets are always hidden in the most unlikely places. In your journey, keep your eyes glittering with curiosity and wonder. Seek the hidden beauty in the mundane. Find joy in unexpected places. And most importantly, feed the love that blossoms within you. I close with Miss Hepburn's timeless quote on a woman's inner beauty and character. And listen to this. The beauty of a woman is not in the clothes that she wears, the figure that she carries, or the way she combs her hair. The beauty of a woman is seen in her eyes, because that is the doorway to her heart, the place where love resides. And thank you for being a part of this sacred garden of shared experiences. May the fragrance of love linger in your hearts until we meet again. Go forth with love, grace, and the certainty that in bearing with one another, we cultivate a garden where every soul can flourish. Thank you, and God bless you all. And thank you very much for all of your kind words and indeed your welcome. So I've been told that for firm fans and viewers of Ask the Doctor, we sometimes have an open forum where we take questions and answers from members of the audience. And we have time for perhaps about 5 minutes for questions and answers from our esteemed audience and our Presbyterian family. There is a roving microphone out there. And by a show of hands, I'm already seeing hands there. Miss June Babulao. Would you like your roving microphone? It is somewhere. I have one here. Let's give a round of applause. It's always difficult when the first person has to open the batting. You know, the ball swings in all directions, but the temperature is slightly different. The pitch is green. Miss Babulal.
Dr. Teelucksingh, is there a difference between mental health and mental wellness?
That is a superb question, because those words are used frequently interchangeably. Now, mental well-being is perhaps a general term. It's an umbrella term because that impacts directly on the entire person. The well-being of your mind is directly connected to your body. It's connected to your soul. It impacts on your physical management. So view mental well-being as a holistic term, but the entity well-being is holistic, of which mental health is a part of it, is a fraction of it. There was someone who had a hand up. Yes, ma'am. Welcome. So a round of applause as well, and thank you. Looks like they want you to speak loudly.
Hello. First of all, Joel, good day. I know your dad, he was a minister at Irie High School, and your mom taught me A-level English.
But my mom is here.
Oh, I'd
Would
love
you
to
believe?
meet her.
We want to
Okay,
stand
so-
a round of applause as well, too, for this.
Lovely. Oh, I'm Rohini Rambalak. You taught me at Irie High School.
One of your favorite teachers. No wonder
Yes,
you speak
of
English
course
so
she
well.
was, yeah.
Yes,
Sorry?
go on. It's no wonder you speak so well, but go right ahead.
Oh, thank you.
Right.
She's a great teacher. Well, since we're on the topic of mental health and mental well-being, wellness, I have been experiencing depression issues, anxiety issues, and so on. So just for the benefit of the women here, how does stress affect our hormonal imbalance or balance? And in turn, can medication help us? Also, how does it relate to brain chemicals, the hormonal changes, brain chemicals, and so on? How do those areas of our brain functions, how does stress affect all of this?
Thank you.
And how does it impact on our behavior patterns? And you know, there is so much about genetics and sexual behavior patterns. You know, it will be so good if some sort of awareness can be created so that people know how to medicate themselves by diagnosis and also by nutrients, natural organic nutrients, into living better lives every day. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So I will try to answer your question in simple terms and we heard it from members of the audience, that stress is indeed a modern killer. Stress is indeed perhaps a separate pandemic, and that tends to go along with depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts. They all tend to cluster, unfortunately, and the situation has worsened since COVID-19 for different reasons. Many persons found that isolation, they lost loved ones, they lost jobs, there were financial reasons, social problems associated with lockdowns and the pandemic. Now, stress from a physical standpoint, stimulates the body to release certain hormones. We know about adrenaline. We've heard about adrenaline all the time. So if you're anxious or you see something that might be worrying, your body starts making adrenaline. There's a fight or flight mechanism. You go to the women's group, you hear something that you didn't agree with, your adrenaline starts surging. But that allows us sometimes to deal with stressful situations. There are steroid hormones as well too that start surging in the body. The body is such a marvel that we need to protect ourselves from potential threats. We need to be able to run away if something is toxic, if there is a situation that is dangerous. But like everything else, there is too much of a good thing. And chronic exposure to these hormones will affect our blood pressure. It starts affecting our sugar. It starts affecting our blood vessels, the arteries, your mood, your sleep. And some of the tips that we spoke about in terms of healthy living would be useful towards not just dealing with a situation like that, but also preventing the complications. And thank you for having the courage to share your personal experiences, because problems like depression and anxiety are often shrouded in stigma. It's often something that we don't speak about. It's difficult sometimes to talk to your physician when you go in the office. Sometimes you don't even know that you may be depressed, but if he or she probes further, the symptoms are insidious, but they may be easy to manage. So on that note, we have one more question from Ms. Jagdeo, who has journeyed from Calcutta. So I think we should give her a round of applause as well. You feel I don't know some of these ladies? I will start to call them by name, but luckily we've been getting some questions. So. Yes, ma'am. Welcome.
I am forgetting very much.
Yes,
I have spoken to many ladies younger than myself, and they told me how they are forgetting. So I would like to know what causes forgetfulness and what can we use, what are vitamins or medication, what can we use to help that situation.
Thank you very much, and that is a superb question too. Now I think the person who could solve permanent memory loss may well win the Nobel Prize for medicine, so that is yet to be properly dealt with. However, there are some underlying problems that will contribute towards loss of memory. Of course, it may be age-related, but sometimes you may have preventable causes. So you may want to consider checking your thyroid function. Have a chat with your doctor about certain vitamin Bs if your level of B12 is low. That may also worsen memory loss. If you are depressed, stressed, and anxious, memory loss could be one of the symptoms. So as well as loss of sleep and appetite, memory loss and problems concentrating is a problem. That can be one of the symptoms. People say that to stave off some of the negativities associated with memory loss, you would want to have a healthy diet, one rich in fruits and vegetables. We spoke about peas and beans and low fat and low salt. Regular physical outdoor activity when these plumes of dust are not so bad. Outdoor activity, stimulating your mind, exercising your mind, whether you're writing, reading, reaching out to friends and family. That is just like a muscle. If you do not use your muscle, it becomes weak and flabby. So you have to stimulate your mind, ensure that your social circle remains strong, attend church, attend your women's group, be part of women's activity, look after yourselves so that I won't have to all the time. And on that note, Thank you very much. God's blessings to one and all. It is an honor and a privilege. Thank you.